What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Smartphone World. I have a pretty good comparison set up for you guys today. I have some information about the HTC M7, and I have some fun news as well. Okay, well, the first thing that I want to talk about, believe it or not, it does not have to do with the comparison or anything like that. It actually has to do with Sony. Now, look at this picture. You see that? That's a 6.44 inch display part for a Sony smartphone. That looks pretty crazy. I mean, unless someone found this part and then just slapped the Sony on top, I don't know. But you think that we're going to see something like this at the Mobile World Congress? If they have parts out already, there's a really good chance that we're going to see a 6.44 inch Sony smartphone display. Maybe it won't be 6.44, you know, that whole opening right there is probably not for just the display, so it'll probably be like a 6.4 inch. Having a 6.44 sounds ridiculous. But then again, the Galaxy S4 is supposed to be 4.99, so alright, well, that's pretty cool if Sony does do something like that, and I would like to find out if this gigantic smartphone is going to have the water-resistant capabilities of their new Xperia Z. Well, we'll find out. Now, the M7. I've been saying for a few weeks now that we will find out what it is all about at the Mobile World Congress. Well, now it turns out that we're going to be finding out about it a week before, which to me, believe it or not, is great idea from HTC. Highlight yourself the week before when, you know, there's just rumors going around and they pump out this HTC M7 or whatever they're going to call it at that announcement. That would be very cool. Remember, the M7 is supposed to have the quad-core 1.7 gigahertz Snapdragon S4 Pro processor. It's supposed to have 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal memory. It's going to be a 4.7 inch display. It is going to be 1080p high def, and it's supposed to have that 441 ppi display in a 4.7 inch. Now, don't be surprised if this phone comes out and it's somewhere between 4.7 and 5 inch, or even 5 inch. We really do not know, and it's just a guess from these pictures, but I did my own little comparison from pictures. It's hard to do that way, but I mean, if you put a Droid DNA or a J Butterfly next to this, the dimensions, you know, if you blow them up exactly, they are pretty similar. So it could be a 5 inch, it could be a 4.7. We'll never really know until the week before, I guess. But having a 2 megapixel front facing camera with that wide angle lens and a 13 megapixel rear camera, I'm definitely anxious to see this smartphone. The problem with me on this smartphone is that it will have an older processor compared to like the Galaxy S4 that we're hearing gonna have the 5 octa with 8 cores. So we'll have to find out. We'll wait and see. After all, the Droid DNA is a spectacular smartphone, so this one should be just as good. Now, the little comparison that I want to do for you, well, calling it a little comparison is a little wrong. I want to compare the Apple iPad mini to the brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 8, which stands for an 8 inch display. Now, the reason why I'm comparing it to the iPad mini, I believe this is a perfect comparison because the iPad mini is 7.9 inches, which is almost, you know, 8 inches. So it is, we're going to say that those two comparisons, 7.9 and 8 inch, I'll say right off the bat, is fine. The difference there is negligible. I mean, seriously. But now, if you look at how the design is, you see the iPad mini next to this picture of the Galaxy Note 8. I'll tell you what, the Galaxy Note 8 does look way better than the iPad mini. The iPad mini is just like a basic rectangle with rounded corners. This one looks more like a Note or Galaxy S3, just bigger. It looks pretty cool. And the fact that it has an S Pen is, you know, a plus. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about some of the specifications of the Note 8. 1.6 gigahertz quad-core processor. Yeah, that's pretty sick. The 1280 by 800 resolution compared to the 1024 by 768. Okay, well, so far the Samsung is definitely winning. I mean, just the quad-core processor alone at 1.6 gigahertz compared to a dual-core 1 gigahertz. Okay, did you just hear what I said? Dual-core 1 gigahertz on the iPad mini, quad-core 1.6 gigahertz in the Note 8. That's a huge difference, guys. Huge. So the processing power is amazing. Now the iPad mini, a half a gig RAM. This one, 2 gigs of RAM. A half a gig RAM, 2 gigs of RAM. Okay. 16, 32 gigs of memory, blah, blah, blah. 5 megapixel camera in the back, 1.3 megapixel in the front. 5 megapixel camera in the back, 1.2 megapixel in the front on the iPad mini. So that isn't that bad. I mean, that comparison is fine. So if you're going to be taking pictures with an iPad or a big Note, go ahead, but then, you know, I don't understand why you would do that. Now, what do you guys think right there? The comparison right there. That's huge. Big difference in the speed and the processing, RAM. Now, it's supposed to have a 4600 mAh battery in the Note 8. The iPad, not that big. We're looking at, oh, here it is, 2000 mAh. That's a huge difference. That is a tremendous difference, guys. And the price. It's going to be between $250 and $300. The iPad mini, $350. Seriously, and it's going to be coming with Jelly Bean out of the box. Guys, I mean, if you really want to waste your money on an iPad mini when you can have a powerhouse like this, cheaper, faster, more RAM, better resolution. I mean, the iPad mini has like one of the worst pixel densities I've ever seen at 162. Ugh, that's just horrible. So this comparison is just a joke. I'm sorry. Samsung clearly wins on that one. Clearly wins. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about today is, guess what is now available on Google Play? Temple Run 2. Yes, I will say that I was addicted to Temple Run 1. Temple Run 2 is pretty cool. There is videos on it on YouTube already. You could download it now for free. It does look a lot better, guys. I mean, they definitely upgraded it. Not like the upgrade from Angry Birds to Angry Birds Space, you know. It looks the same type of deal, you know. It's just Temple Run 2 is pretty cool. I like it. I was having a lot of fun with it, and the reason why this episode is late today is because of Temple Run 2. You can blame them. Go grab it and try it out today. Well, that was another episode of Smartphone World. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit subscribe, give me some comments, click like, share me with your friends. Have a great day.